Hi guys, welcome to Nine's Corner. We are going to start off this video a little differently than we normally do because I did a video, recorded it, started to edit it, had to send it to my iPad, and when I did that, somehow I deleted it. And then I went in and I permanently deleted it. I don't know what I did, but I know I have to ground myself. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And we're going to relax and we're going to do it all over again because that's life. So let's get a little grounding together as we go for a walk and take advantage of seeing fall because it doesn't last very long and it is beautiful this time of year. So I want to share that with you. So let's go for a walk. Welcome everybody. As you can see, we are outdoors. I thought there's not going to be very many days left that we're going to be able to enjoy the outdoors. It is a balmy 55 degrees Fahrenheit, 13 degrees Celsius. I have my blankie all over me. Well, actually, I'm going to put that behind my back. I hope it doesn't rain. And I am going for take two. So obviously the universe decided that I didn't do a good job the first time. And I'm telling you, it's very distracting because there are so many blue jays around here and they are just flying back and forth. But I thought I'd come out, get the fresh air, get a new perspective and start in on a reading. And did you hear, just as a point of interest, that Dr. Oz has been found out that when he was a medical doctor, he used animals for medical tests, but they were done inhumanely. Now, I will admit I did not go over and read that because I'm an animal lover. I adore my animals, and I just didn't want to have a visual of what he did. It's just another reason not to vote for him. Do not vote for Dr. Oz. Like, oh my God. So I thought this would be a good time to look at a number of different things that have been going on. And I kind of was like trying to figure out how can I set this up? What pattern should I do? And I just thought, you know what? We're such good friends now that we just read on what's going on. And if there's something I didn't read on that you want me to read on, put it in the comments. And let's just go from there because we're friends enough now. You know what I mean? Now, I know some people don't like to be too friendly in the comments, but that's okay. I get it. There's times when I do readings and I kind of go over the tarot cards, but I truly try to give you the authentic reading to the best of my ability. That has been my number one goal since the day I started my channel, was to be as truthful and as honest as I could about the cards. But then I've also have 30 years of experience, so I might not read the cards the same way as everybody else because I'm looking at the past, present, and future meanings of the cards or the spiritual meaning, and sometimes that can veer off the word meaning. So yeah, I got my feathers ruffled, but it's all good. It's all good in the hood, my friends. So let's look at Donald Trump. He has sued CNN. Donald Trump decided to sue CNN. Why? Why has Donald Trump sued CNN? For what purpose would he need to sue CNN? What's happening here, Donald Trump? Because this is just getting crazier. And I mean, the reality is, one, doesn't that open him to investigation? And if they can have any traction on this going towards CNN, Fox News is done for, like completely done for. It doesn't, so like, why is he doing this? What's the purpose of it? What's the purpose behind it? have a look. Four of Cups. I think at this point, okay, this man is so wanting to be in the news. He's so wanting to be spoken about, talked about, and he wants to keep his popularity up. And at this point, he's just not getting any offers that he's happy with. So he is like, that's not what I want. And he's taking a tantrum and putting it out there. So I really think this is just Trump being bored, Trump having to do something because he needs attention. It literally is as narcissistic as that. It truly comes down to being as narcissistic as that. How does CNN feel about it? Oh, interesting. Interesting. Nine of Swords. Well, okay, I gotta stop saying interesting. I'm surprised. I was expecting, kind of like a don't worry about it, but this is like they feel like there might be something that they have to be worried about. So I think that they're not just, ignoring it or thinking whatever. They're actually putting some time, effort, lawyers into this. And there may be a point. There's something that they're worried about. What's going to happen with this? I thought this would be like a over and done kind of thing. What's going to happen with this lawsuit? We'll look at Donald Trump and then we'll look at CNN. Will anything come of it? Donald Trump, I think he's using delay tactics. This is all about just putting things out so there's a lot of chaos and whatnot there. Knight of Wands. I think for CNN, they may be rushing in a little bit, trying to do the most because they're like, you know what, after all this time, maybe we shouldn't just assume and think that Trump doesn't have anything. Let's get prepared. So I do feel as though this is not something that's going to go away overnight. It is going to be dragged out for a while. I think this is just a way of Trump keeping his name in the news, and it's really about adding to the show that is Trump, so that whether or not he comes out and says, I'm going to go for president. And I know Mary Trump has recently said she can't see how else he's going to get away with anything other than going. And I'm thinking, hold on now, 14th Amendment, my Newfie accent's coming out. The 14th Amendment says that if you've been part of an insurrection, they've already got enough information and evidence from January 6th. So why don't they at least do the step of you can't run? You can't do anything in New York. They don't trust you to do any business in New York, but yet you could become the president of the United States. It's just like, what? So let's just have a look and see. Will Donald Trump run? Because right now he's milking all his people for as much money as they're worth. But then you've got like Janet. Then you've got like Jared and Ivanka throwing him under the bus. Jared has said, he's not looking to go for a second term. Now, I'm sure if Trump actually won. Okay, let's just look. Is there any chance that Trump will run? What are the energies around that right now? King of Swords. He's talking the good talk. He sees a lot of obstacles in his way. But right now, he's in his mind. In his mind, yes, I think he is planning on announcing. But I think there's some obstacles in his way. Okay, let's just put these cards all back in, because I just want to ask a question. If it came down to Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis, who would win? So let's just look. If there was a race between Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis, who would win? And God forbid that Ron DeSantis would not want to become president, because he's desperate to, that he would give in to that to become vice with Donald Trump, because that would be scary. So we'll pull for Donald Trump, and then we'll pull for DeSantis. What would happen? So for Donald Trump, 10 of Swords. DeSantis, Ace of Pentacles. I think the tides are finally starting to turn. The energies are starting to turn. It may not seem like it, but I'm telling you, I really feel as though if they actually went for a vote between Donald Trump and DeSantis, DeSantis would be the winner. He's got some money behind him. I'm not happy about DeSantis. I'm just saying that between the two, right? We're talking about CNN. So recently I saw that Don Lemon has been demoted to a morning show. Now, I mean, they say it's promotion, but he's actually being put on a show with other people. So, you know, it kind of looks like a demotion, kind of looks like they're trying to, you know, edge him towards the door. There's been a lot of people that have been fired recently, and CNN seems to be trying to change their overall look. They want to be more equal, so I guess or to look more balanced, so maybe they're trying to get away from so much opinion and get more into and maybe that, you know, that might have something to do with the whole Donald Trump lawsuit, because, you know, maybe CNN is vulnerable. So let's just look at Don Lemon and see what's going to happen with Don Lemon. What's going to happen? So for right now, he's going to do the morning show, but problems from the past are going to come back up. This is literally CNN trying to push him towards the door, and it's also the universe kind of knocking and saying, like, your time is limited here. Going across it, we have the Eight of Cups. He really does not want to walk away from everything that he's built up on CNN. I think he feels as though anywhere he works after this will be a letdown, something less than. Interesting. Underneath it, we've got the King of Swords. So he's going to move forth regardless of the obstacles, regardless of this feeling like he's on his way out. He's just going to do it. In the past, we had the Eight of Pentacles. He was really working on his career, working on building up his career, really being, really wanting to get a message across. On top of it, the King of Wands, he is keeping his options open. I think there might be an opportunity in which he would take care of his own show. Like he would, you know, come on YouTube and all of a sudden it's the Don Lemon show and kind of break off into a different direction or something. He's keeping that in mind. Ooh. Oh, Don. Interesting, because his first card out was the Lovers, and I said problems were going to come back to haunt him. So in his near future, we got the Ten of Swords. So I really get a strong feeling like they're pushing him out, and that it's a case of, it's like his reputation is being taken apart a bit, and it's like his options outside of CNN are limited. You know, if you look at this card, I love this deck, by the way, the Modern Witch Tarot deck. If you're into tarot cards, this one is one to have. But if you see this card, it has the cell phone. So maybe there's something that he's done, put in writing, has text messages about, like something like that, that's going to kind of hurt him, because that's in the near future. We've got the Knight of Swords rushing into the morning show, because what else can he do? The people around him, Seven of Swords, they feel bad for him. They kind of say, wah, wah. You're kind of like, you know, you are kind of taking a hit. Seven of Pentacles, he's really stepping back and looking, but I think the biggest thing is his fear that CNN would be the top of his career ambitions and the top to where he could get. So I think that's what's really making him pensive about it. Ace of Wands, Don Lemon, whether you like it or not, CNN and the universe are going to be pushing you out into a new adventure. You're going to be getting some new ideas. Magician, listen, you've got what it takes to move on from this. And literally, you could, work on this show and at the same time prepare or create your own idea and give it some time so it doesn't look like, you went to mornings and now you're gone. You can kind of do it in a more not respectful, that's the wrong word, but sort of like, so that it can give people some doubt as to, oh, wow, my God, Don Lemon, if I was doing a reading with you, I'd be like, buddy, you got some really strong cards coming out. Because we have the Magician. He has everything that he needs to do it. We've got the Fool. Like I said, I really believe that he's going to be starting a new adventure. But I got the Death card, so transformation. Whether this is Don Lemon himself or there's something that's going to be happening in the near future that's going to have to do with communications that Don's going to get in trouble for, and that's going to really hurt his career advancements in the future. He's going to have to go through some kind of transformation and find a new way of doing things. So I really feel like the cards are really pushing to say your time is limited on CNN. So, yikes. That was an interesting read. I wasn't expecting all that. Do not adjust your sets. I have moved. It was just getting too cold out there, so I thought I'll just move into the garage, the closest location, and continue this reading. I have a little space heater here, and I have a fresh coffee, so we're good to go. Our next reading is going to be about the effects of the pipeline, because as we're seeing, over in Germany and Austria and Poland, they're turning off the lights to the monuments and to the government buildings to try to save energy. They have literally asked people to take cold showers. I saw one report where they were showing students going to school with blankets over them. And this is like not even the real beginning of winter. So I thought, let's look at it via month: December, January, February, and March. Let's look at the next 4 months and see what effect the pipelines and the lack of energy will have on the people. So let's look at December. 10 of Cups. I feel like a lot of the responsibility is going to be put on the families. It's going to be put on just regular folks trying to make ends meet. There is a long-term feeling of somebody being helpful. I think this has gotten world attention. So I think you will get support. There will be people and countries trying to help you. But I feel like this is like in the long term, not in the short term. But it definitely is showing like plans, successful partnerships in the future. January, eek. January, we have the 9 of Wands. It's going to be a hard month on some people. I feel like, if you lose your lights and you lose your heat and all that kind of stuff, believe me, I know this from experience, that it can offset people's illnesses. It can offset heart attacks and all that kind of stuff. And it can put a real surge on the hospitals. It can be a really difficult time to get services and stuff. I mean, I remember one winter, and Newfoundland has rolling outages all the time in the winter because we need to get a better grid and so on and so forth. But I remember one winter the lights went out, and literally the next day my dad had a heart attack and ended up in hospital. Now, I'm not saying the heart attack was due to the outage. It seemed to me that in stressful events that would bring out it actually brought out the heart attack. So I just feel like there's people there's going to be people hurt. There's going to be people that are having to try to take care of themselves at home. With the Wands here, we could be looking at environmental issues, sources of heat, people trying to burn wood, maybe not getting it dried. You know what I mean? Like people using resources that are not necessarily the best, but what else can you do? That's the kind of feeling. December, January, and February, we have the Five of Wands. With the Five of Wands here, it's like, the feeling is like, are you really seeing what's happening here? Almost like maybe the government and the powers to be will see that there's people doing without, see people are being harmed and not getting along as well as what they should be, but they almost turn a blind eye to it because what else can we do? So as in any other situation, those who have the least will be harmed the most. So in March, we have the Two of Swords, which is really interesting because that almost circles back to the Ten of Cups, where you're weighing out the situation. You realize that you can't keep going on like this. Your dependence on Russia and with the destruction of the pipelines and seeing how this winter is going to go, you're going to say, no, this is unacceptable for us to go through. So I think there's going to be a lot of thought and planning into a partnership. But really having to try to weigh out what's the best. There's almost like like I said, there's some confusion here. So I do see a partnership here, but there seems to be some question as to the partnership. Like I said, we had the Five of Wands, so I think there's some confusion. Something is going to cause this partnership to be in question. Now, whether this is the partnership with the U.S., being the source for getting energy outside of Russia, there seems to be something, delays. And with the Two of Swords, you're looking at delays due to communications, information. There's something there. We'll look at this in the future because there's definitely something there that's coming to the surface. I just don't know exactly what it is because it seems like it seems like with the Two of Swords, their obstacles are in their way and they're not quite yet ready to take help. So we'll have to look into that one. So the end result being obstacles will remain in your way until you get help. You need partnership. You need help. And you have to make a decision about it. But something is fuzzy there. Something's causing some upset there, a certain amount of distrust. For our last reading, I thought it would be really important to bring up what's happening in Iran now with the Iranian women stepping up and pushing for their rights. There was a girl, Mahsa Amini, who was killed while in custody of the Iranian mortality police. This was due to not wearing her garment properly. It was horrific. I have to say, I watched a news clip about it, and it really psychologically it broke me because I'm thinking, my God, all these women who are now standing up for their rights, knowing that could get them killed. There's like already been like 133 people reported, and that's probably not the real number of people who have died. So when you're looking at these protests, these women aren't going out thinking, oh, I might get sprayed with gas. They could literally be killed. So I really think that a way that we can support those women is by having gratitude and appreciation for the rights that we do have. Having gratitude and appreciation for the fact that we can get out and drive and that we can get out and vote and that it wasn't that long ago that we didn't have these rights, and how easily Roe versus Wade, things can turn. So I think to support them outside of doing, you know, money support or within the country supporting politicians to help them, the best way we can support them is to be appreciative of what we have, to use what we have, and to keep what we have. To be a reminder of that, but for the grace of God, go I, how quickly this could all turn around. So although land and so-called borders separate us, at the end of the day, we are all just human beings. You know, we all are just mothers, brothers, sisters, fathers. It's just, we're so much more alike than we are different. And my heart breaks for the Iranian women and what they're going through. So I thought, let's just do a little reading 3, 6, 9 months out and just see how the year is going to go. So in the next 3 months. Wow, the world is watching. This is truly, like, this is a major arcana. So this is huge. They are losing their lives for a greater purpose. The world is watching. This is a major shift. And women, this is destiny. Like, these women are destined to do this, to pave the road for future women to have rights. 6 months, we've got the Magician. So I kind of feel as though, although things may seem grim, you may not be seeing the change that you want, all the tools that you need, you have to create this change. And that with keeping going, tenacity, and unfortunately a lot of pain, we are going to see some changes coming. 2 major arcanas out already, guys. We have the Ace of Wands. It is going to take some support from the male population, especially, I guess, high politicians, but it's going to take some support from the male population to get this done. I know it sounds unfair when you're looking at women trying to get women's rights, but you can't do it without the men being on board. So I think in the 9 months to a year, you're going to see some real movement as men will get on board with this and start seeing some changes. The Star, guys, yes, the Star. It won't happen overnight. It's going to take a lot of time, but you have what it takes to get it done. You have all the bits and pieces and all the parts that you need to be the magician, to change it. Is it going to be easy? Absolutely not. It's going to come with some pain, heartache. Men are going to be part of the change. You need them to help you with the change. But the stars are aligning. This is destiny. We are watching something that was destined to happen. How it plays out is based on people and free will. But women are standing up, and it will not be for naught. It won't be for nothing. It'll be for major change. Like, this is going to be huge change. So hope is really strongly there. And as always, my YouTube family, we have our unity candle lit for each and every one of us. And in case I forget,
don't forget to subscribe.
Bye, guys.